Hi, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. My name is Michelle, and today I'm going to be testing out a new eyeshadow palette with you. It's new to me, but it's actually been around for quite a while. It's my very first time to play with a Dose of Colors product, so I'm really excited to get into this pretty cool eyeshadow palette from Dose of Colors. So if you'd like to see the look that I create with this, while I use it for the first time and share my honest first impressions with you, just keep on watching because we're getting started now. So yeah, I have never had a Dose of Colors eyeshadow palette. I have always seen them in people's eyeshadow palette collection videos and stuff like that, or like their Shop My Stashes or their Project Pan project videos and stuff like that, but I've never actually had a Dose of Colors product myself. So I'm excited to check this out. And what prompted me to pick this palette up, I like that it's kind of like the, not like shiny plastic, but it's like, I don't know, matte. What prompted me to pick this palette up is that it was the last one in stock at the store that I was at. And oh my gosh, they still come with the little brush. I used to watch this one channel called All That Fresh. She stopped doing videos and stuff a good while back, but she used to always build her eye look with a Dose of Colors brush, and I used to always wonder how I could get this brush because this was back before I had all the makeup brushes that I have now, and I was really curious. And I wish that I would have opened this and washed this before, because I typically don't use makeup brushes without them being washed. I'm going to go ahead and make the exception today, though, since it's like, I don't know, small. What difference does that make? Anyways, here's the cute little brush. It's kind of stiff. No, it's like kicking off dust and stuff. Yeah, I'm going to have to wash that before I use it. So anyway, let me just get my eyes primed, and I'll use some other brushes while I create my first impressions look with this eyeshadow palette. I don't know. I feel like the smell, it's either the Cali Contour Face Palette that's starting to kind of give me a little bit of a headache, or it's this eyeshadow palette. And I feel like it's the eyeshadow palette because I didn't start feeling a little funny in my throat until the moment that I opened up that eyeshadow palette and started breathing in the contents, I guess. Anyways, I'm going to prime my eyes with my MAC Paint Pot, and we'll get started with the look. Starting off with this, I'm going to start off with this fluffy blender from Morphe. And I think I'm going to just start off with the light shade. Ooh, these are real powdery. Like I barely tapped it, and a whole lot of powder chunked off into my tap off cup. I'm going to just put this throughout the crease to kind of like set my primer a little bit so that it'll be easy for me to blend out the rest of the shades. So that light shade is a little bit more of like a neutral tan, not really a cool tone tan. But it's also not very warm either. It's got the slightest little bit of warmth. And I feel like that's so that the shadows don't look too cool tone up against your skin tone. All right, let me go ahead now and stick with the same brush, and I'm gonna just build it up with the next shade a little bit more. Wow, that was a big step in pigmentation. You saw I barely tapped it. I feel like it's the color. Okay, yeah, it was just that I didn't apply enough. Okay. So far, I feel like that's a good start. And I actually really like the performance of these shades so far. But I do feel like I need like a clean blender. So I'm gonna go in with nothing on this brush here and just soften up this outer edge a little bit because I feel like it's just a little bit too harsh of a line there. I feel like that looks really good. It's just, I didn't like set this outer part of my primer, and so that part right there, I feel like it just stuck a little bit better. That's actually a really pretty, like soft, slightly cool toned, neutral, everyday smoky eye. Like, I wouldn't even really call it a smoky eye. I mean, it kind of is a little bit. It's like a soft, subtle smoky eye. Okay, I've cleaned off this brush. I think now I'm gonna just, I'm afraid to go into the really deep shades because I don't wanna go too intense too quickly. So I'm just gonna step it up one by one so that I can actually check these shades out. I'm gonna take a little bit of this slightly deeper shade, the middle one, and just smoke out my outer corner just a little bit. Okay. And honestly, I feel like unless you put this shade all across the lid, there's not really a light enough shade for a lid color in my opinion. But let's just see how it looks. I'm gonna go ahead and just take this lightest shade and pack it all over the lid. That is pretty. What do we think about that? Simple, but like great for the everyday work look, in my opinion. Okay, now I'm going to take this lower lash line brush here, and I think I'm going to stick with the more cool tone shade of these two, and I'm going to take that on the lower lash line. Wow, that's a really pretty color. I really like it. It's kind of like a gray brown, like a grayish. I don't know if you're familiar with Grayish, the lip liner from MAC, but I would say that this shade here from Dose of Colors is very much like the eyeshadow version of that lip liner. And I'm kind of here for it. Yeah, that really did like intensify the smokiness without the upper portion of the eye getting to be too intense. Okay, so now what I want to do though is, where's my angled brush? Clean it off. I do want to see what this last shade looks like, so I'm going to take this on my angled brush and I'm just going to smoke my upper lash line. Wow, that is a really pigmented shadow, and it lined my lashes so nicely. Okay, I do really like this palette. The performance is very reliable. Seems like a very reliable formula. Now I see why these have been around for so long and why so many people put them in their painting projects, because they're great for like the everyday go-to reach. And I have officially used every single shade now in the palette. I do really like the way that it turned out. Now I'm going to finish this first impressions look off with a little bit of curling the lashes and some mascara to show you the completed first look. and share my final first impressions with you on this palette. Okay. I'm going to finish the look off with the Clinique mascara today, because it's the one that I have open that is in black. Wow, look at how beautiful. Look at the difference that this Clinique Dramatically Different mascara, or whatever it's called, made with my lashes. One coat, no clumping, no like spidery effect, just a really beautiful, light, looks like I have nothing on, fluttery effect with a little bit of lengthening and a little bit of volume. Not too much on either end. But you can build it up some for length. It doesn't overly clump, so it, you know, it's not gonna like load up on volume too much to where you get spider eyes. I forgot how much I did actually really enjoy this mascara, and I'm so glad to have it in my collection again. Yeah. This is a great mascara for like a soft, slightly dramatic, everyday makeup look. I like it a lot. My eyes don't look overly done, but it did certainly enhance my lashes. So yeah. Lastly, I'm going to add a little bit of Fake Awake in the waterline. Okay. Take down my hair. Here is the finished look for my first time to play with the Dose of Colors Cool. With the Dose of Colors, take a breath, Michelle, and burp. Okay, friends, here is the finished look for my first time to play with the Dose of Colors Pretty Cool eyeshadow palette. I have to say, I'm pretty impressed, and I see why these have been around in so many people's collection for so many years. I'm pretty late to the party on this brand, but I'm excited to have a little bit of experience with it now, and I look forward to trying to create additional, I look forward to trying to see what kind of other looks I can get from this eyeshadow palette, especially since I do feel like the color story is just a little bit limiting. I mean, it is just 5 shades, and there's only one slightly light shade, so, you know. We'll try to see, I mean, I'll have to try to see what kind of range I can get out of this palette, but as far as like keeping it just on my vanity for like an easy grab go for some solid neutrals to add with any other palette or whatever, or just like a little bit of a sparkly moment to add with it from a single, I feel like this is going to be a palette that I'm going to enjoy reaching for time and time again. So now I'd like to hear your thoughts on the Dose of Colors palettes. Have you ever had one of their eyeshadow palettes? If so, which color story did you choose? Or have you had more than one? I could see me wanting to collect like the variety of shades that these little 5 pans come in, but they're a little bit pricey, and I am trying to keep my eyeshadow palette collection a little bit more curated, and I'm not buying up every palette that I want anymore. So I'll probably not add too many more to my collection, but I do have one other one that I picked up at the same time as this one, and that is the like more warm tone brown palette. So I'll be using that one next, but that's gonna do it for my first time to play with the Dose of Colors Pretty Cool eyeshadow palette. Hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please be sure to take a moment to click the like button. It really does help my small channel out so much, and lets the YouTube algorithm know that you'd like to see my content in your feed. Another way to make sure that you have my content your feed is by hitting the subscribe button down below. The subscribe button is down below underneath this video, and it's absolutely free to subscribe to my channel. And yeah, that's gonna do it. So, and that's all I've got to say for today. So I look forward to seeing you in my next video.